The complexities of dating on this day meant for love. Dating trends are all over the place. Kendra G, Alana Dunn are still with us. Our next guest is a licensed clinical psychologist, because we need a doctor in this house.
Yeah, we do.
Raquel Martin went viral when she shared the questions singles should be asking when dating. Take a look at the questions.
Message from a psychologist if you're dating. If you're single and you're looking for a relationship, message is for you. Stop asking these people, he, she, they, about their middle name. It doesn't matter. Their favorite color, I could not possibly care less. Town they grew up in, Ask them about their biggest disappointment and how they handled that. Ask them about coping skills that they use. And then if they have a question about what coping skills are, write that down. Ask them about their goals for themselves. Ask them what their definition of success is and failure.
Dr. Raquel Martin is here with us. You went viral. Why do you think that hit a nerve?
Because it's a very common question that my clients bring in, even some of my single friends. Now, with my friends, I'm like, okay, because I'm not on the clock. Well, the best thing about being a doctor is that I can walk my clients through, and I'm like, right. So what is their favorite color going to tell you about their conflict resolution skills that we're working on? And they're like, good point. And a lot of times it's actually the fact that, like, you feel like you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable, or some people know the answer to the question, but they're a very good looking person. So you're like, well, I'll ask after the third date. We just ordered dessert. You know what I'm saying? So if we're talking about intentionally dating, I feel like it's important to be sure that you're asking the questions that are going to drive a relationship.
Okay, so these are the questions that once you feel like, okay, I might have a real connection with this person, let me get granular here, because this is about how you handle things. I love the question about the adversity.
Yes.
How you pick yourself up. That says a lot about people.
It does, because a lot of times when we're talking about long-term relationships, people will focus on the peaks. Of course, we're happy. Even the pits can actually drive you in relationships, because sometimes you'll bond over traumas. But the valleys, where it's just like we're doing pickups every day and we're doing drop-offs every day and we're cooking food, it's not always about what you say, it's also about what you do. How do you feel, how do you observe how they are when they're bored? Or when they've had some kind of mishap, from a traffic jam to utter chaos? How do they deal with that? Do they turn it on you? Is that their value system?
Are they going to answer that honestly, though?
Well, that's where we're observing, right? Like, so the first date, I feel like it's more important to observe than be Inspector Gadget. I wouldn't date anyone who is rude to a server.
Yeah,
because it's like,
that's it.
are you okay?
Yeah. I'm very aware of please and thank yous.
Please and thank
yous.
yous.
And I hear it when somebody doesn't do it, it is a complete shutdown for me.
And it drives you mentally in a relationship, because what you were looking for is someone with emotional intelligence. Anyone who's going to treat a server wrong, it's only a matter of time. True integrity is someone who treats you appropriately.
I love that. Alana.
Yes.
One of your most popular posts, 2.6 million views on Instagram alone, captioned 4 things you should learn about someone on the first date. You say, what are their dating goals? So that's when you're trying to find out if they're in a situationship, microchip, whatever. What do you want from me? Do you want the same things in life? That's a big question on the first date. If somebody asked me that, I'd be a little concerned.
I think the way to go about it is through conversation. You're not just going to throw these questions out and be Inspector Gadget, but you want to learn, what are their dating goals? If they talk about their childhood, I feel like this is actually a really great way in. Talk about the way you grew up. And, you know, I think on my first date with my husband, Jake, we both talked about how we loved having siblings, and we definitely want to have a few kids and move back to the suburb, ideally, that we grew up in.
That weaves into the priorities, because that's a big thing you want to know, especially when you've decided you truly want to be in a relationship. Those are substantive questions. Your husband, Jake, is in the audience.
Yes.
What was it about the situation? I mean, you knew what you wanted when you were on that first date?
Yeah, I think like a lot of people here, I was very single for a while, and I started to intentionally date, same as Alana at that time. And yeah, I think that's how it kind of started.
So you wanted to be married?
I knew I wanted to get into a relationship, and the people that I was dating, if I didn't see a real future with them, that I would end that. And I would want to be with somebody that had similar goals to me and wanted a similar life as me. So, yeah.
And there you are.
There you are.
And here I am.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
Because intentional men don't mind the questions, because intentional men who are looking for a life partner, for looking for something serious, those questions do not scare them.
Yeah.
So you can be upfront because you're gonna learn one or two things. Either he's not intentional, doesn't want anything serious, or he wants to play. So now he can't play with your time. So either way, it's a win. You're not gonna scare off the guy that also wants the same things as you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So be direct. Do you want a baby or not? Oh, you don't? Okay.
I think you can frame it a certain way. Like if I'm talking about coping skills, I won't say, tell me your coping skills or else this day is over. I will say something like, oh, I had a pretty stressful day today and I decided to take a walk. What do you do when you're kind of stressed out, when you're feeling those moments? And if they freeze, if they have no answer to that, even talking about family, but we just passed the holidays. Holidays were wild. We have all these really fun traditions. We do this. Do you have any traditions with your family?
Yeah.
And then they'll be more open to sharing, well, yeah, we have this, or haven't talked to my family or years, or they don't mention family at all, or they find uncomfortable. It's not even just about the answers.
Right.
It's also about the lack of answers, because I also think it's important to learn about someone when they don't know the answer to something. Do you try to like tap dance your way out of it, or do you have enough integrity and accountability to be like, well, I actually don't know that. Let me think about it with you right now.
Yeah.
That's someone who has the value of, I'm gonna grow with you, I respect you enough to tell the truth. And that's someone that you would likely wanna build with, because we're not always gonna have the answers in the first place.
Right. And we want to get curious too. Let's say you want to be with somebody who's family oriented.
Yeah.
We don't all get to choose our family. So maybe somebody is estranged from their parents, or their family is not around anymore.
Yeah,
They passed away. But you hear that they really do value family and are looking to build that in their future.
Yeah.
That's important. You shouldn't just write somebody off because of something that may have happened in their past that was really out of their control.
And also just have a good time, because I think sometimes when you go out on dates, it becomes so serious. So that could be a turnoff, right? Just enjoy yourself, get to know, ask questions, have fun, but don't forget to have fun and laugh and all those things too. Don't take it so serious. And she watches my show, Tamron. She told me, her and her husband, child, I love them.
As I said before, this was not the Valentine's Day show that I was expecting. But the best part of this show, and I don't want the guys at home to think we're just bashing guys, but this was not the plan. But what I like about this show is that you have three very different women, and it shows that there are many answers, but we're all trying to lead to a place of sincere and real love.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I think that's what's important. I
when
think
you're
so.
thinking-
That's what I think.
Yeah, I would say also when you're thinking about relationships, I've been married to my husband for 7 years. We have 2 children.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love that.
I love that man.
And now you're helping others find that.
Yeah.
Listen, this was not the show that I was expecting, but we love it. Kendra G, Alana Dunn, Dr. Raquel Martin. You can follow, because I bet you got more questions. There's their social media.